People are constantly at war with their mind. What I mean by this is that there's always a constant chatter happening inside of people's minds. There's always an inner monologue happening. And a lot of people think this is normal, but it really isn't. Just imagine for a second if your thoughts were broadcasted onto a television and everyone was able to see what you're constantly thinking. And so everyone's able to see all the constant repetition and nonsense and almost random thoughts just constantly emerging within your mind. It would be seemingly crazy. But a lot of people think that this is normal to happen. And the truth is, it's not. It's not normal to have your mind behave like this unless you know how to control it. And so to better illustrate this problem, let's just look at this article from 2014. And so the problem that arises for people in this situation is that they don't want to be alone for up to 15 minutes by themselves with just their thoughts. They'd rather be electrically shocked than to let that happen. Now, some people may think to themselves that this is an interesting observation to find on the human condition. But what does it actually have to do with anything people do daily in their lives? Well, it has a lot of negative implications for people. Just imagine for a second that you lost your child, and the pain and grief of having lost your child is so great that you decide to take your own life, or that you lost your job recently, or that the impulse to get up and go procrastinate is stronger than staying focused on one thing for more than 5 minutes. These are all problems that people are having, but it all comes back to one central idea, which is emotional intelligence. And so the people that are constantly at war with their minds, they lack a level of emotional intelligence. And so one of the solutions being presented in today's video is meditation. But without further ado, let's get into how meditation can help you emotionally. Now, the first thing to quickly understand about meditation is that it's not a woohoo hippie type of thing and people might have a misapprehension of what meditation is, because for most of the time it's used in a religious context, because it is something that has been derived from religious practices like Buddhism or Hinduism. And yes, while a lot of the terms that might be used for meditation come from a religious context, it is essentially a tool that can be used while leaving all the religiosity at the door, that can be used to essentially maximize your emotional intelligence and to maximize your emotional well-being. So you don't have to be a Buddhist or a Hindu to be able to meditate and to have a proper experience from it. Now, there's a lot of different forms of meditation that people will do, but the one that we're going to be covering in today's video that's essential for emotional well-being is something called vipassana, or mindfulness. And it's a method of meditation that makes you essentially mindful. You learn to understand just how crazy your thoughts are and how crazy your mind is. You become aware of the types of thoughts that you have, and you become aware of when these thoughts arise. You learn to understand these thoughts and to allow them to pass in the current moment rather than to allow them to have control over you. And the benefits of doing mindfulness are pretty laughable when you see the benefits that they can have for people. Now, just going off of this Mayo article, we can see that meditation can help people with helping them with their sleep, helping to lower blood pressure, helping to lower their resting heart rate, helping them to be more patient, more creative, reducing negative feelings, focusing on the present moment, making them more self-aware, building skills to manage their stress, and giving them a new way to look at the things that cause their stress. So if you're looking towards maximizing your mental well-being, then something like meditation, and specifically mindfulness meditation, is something that you should add to your repertoire of things to help manage your mental well-being. Now, I'm not a meditation guru, so I can't tell you how to meditate, but I have two recommendations to some great platforms for meditation. The first is Headspace. Now, I haven't used this too much. I've used this a little bit, and I find that it was helpful when I was using it. And it is one of the more popular platforms to use for meditation that a lot of people use. And the second one is called Waking Up. This is the one that I currently use on my own. So the key takeaway to understand from today's video is that if you're constantly stuck in your thoughts and you're constantly stuck up in the clouds and you're finding it difficult to distance yourself from the constant war happening in your head, then incorporating something like mindfulness meditation into your daily routine is something that can be very beneficial for you. It's something that can help you stop the constant nonsense happening in your head and to have more control over them. And so with that is the end of the video. If you liked my discussion on meditation, let me know down in the comments what you thought of it, what your thoughts are on meditation and what types of meditation that you do. And with that, it's the end of today's video. I'll see you all in the next one.